I grew up very stereotypically, man. I didn't play basketball, football. I grew up playing ping pong. Competitively. That was a serious national sport back home, man. You know, I didn't go to any fun summer camp, space camp. My dad sent me to a ping pong training camp in Guangzhou, China. I almost died. It was 100 kids competing for one spot on the national team. It was basically Fortnite with ping pong paddles. We took that seriously though. My dad would take me to every practice, every tournament game, and he always tried to give me a pep talk before every game. But you know Asian parents, they're way too honest. So every pep talk just turned into an insult. He would come up to me and be like, Jimmy, you're going to play well, okay? Even though you're slow, even though you're weak, and you suck. And then he would just walk away. I was very good at math. That's a big Asian stereotype. I think there's some truth to that, not because of some weird genetic thing, just because our parents care so much more about mathematics and academics, right? You guys seen it? You guys seen those Kumon learning centers in those strip malls, right? Right? Kumon learning centers, for you guys that don't know, are basically detention camps for young Asian children. You can tell that place is kind of f***ed up by the look of its logo. Because it's supposed to be a smiley face, but it's not really smiling. It's just like, man. My parents were way too cheap to send me to Kumon. They got a different strategy. They never let me use a calculator until I turned 15, so I can work on my brain function. That's an old school Chinese strategy. You know, so when I turned 15, it was a very special occasion. It was basically my quinceañera. My dad just gave me a TI 83 plus. And he looked me in the eyes, and he was like, you're a woman now, okay? But when you're a kid, when your parents tell you can't do something, what do? You rebel, right? So when I was 14 years old, I stole my brother's calculator, I stole Roy Rogers' calculator, and I locked myself in my room and I started rebelling. I started doing math homework. Other kids were around with alcohol and drugs. I was up some parabolas, you know? Locked myself in a room, I was just punching in numbers. I was like, oh man, this feels great, you know? It's so wrong, it's awesome. My dad was pissed. He was knocking on the other side of the door. He doesn't like locked doors in the house. And he was screaming. He was like, Jimmy, what are you doing inside? Come out right now. I know you're in there using a calculator. Come out right now. I was so scared, I didn't know what to do. And he unlocked the door and he came in. I went into full panic mode, so I just threw away the calculator and I pulled down my pants. I was like, Dad, I was just jerking off. And he came in and he looked at me and then he looked at the math homework. And he was like, good, very good, very good, very good. You must have really like math, that's good. That's good. Keep it up. Because there's nothing that will make your Asian father more proud than to see his son jerk off to his math homework. Look, there's nothing wrong with Whole Foods. Matter of fact, it's too nice. And Asian people, we don't like to pay for atmosphere. Have you guys been to a Chinese grocery store? It's a zoo. You walk in there, there's just a frog jumping from one aisle to the other. There's a piece of fish still flopping around the floor. Half the place is an aquarium. I don't even know why you ever pay for your kids to go to SeaWorld when you just take them to the Ranch 99 for free. That's a good deal. That's a great deal. Asian people, we don't buy organic. We don't believe in organic labeling. We better still see is swimming or still walking. That's organic to us. That's the only way we know. All my friends in LA, all my hipster friends, they're like, Jimmy, you gotta eat organic, man. Those regular stuff you eat, they have growth hormones in them. It's gonna kill you. I'm like, really? Growth hormones? Wait a minute, you trying to tell me I've been eating growth hormones all my life and I'm still 5'5" and I shop at Gap Kids? Get the out of here. I'll pay extra for growth hormones. Get me to the GMO only section, you know? All this organic stuff in America is getting out of control. It's not just organic food. You got like organic bed sheets, organic hand soap. I don't know about you guys, but growing up in my very Chinese family, hand soap wasn't even a thing. Hand soap used to be that piece of crap leftover soap that my dad's been washing his balls with for 2 months. And he just puts it on the soap counter. You walk by, you rub your 2 fingers on it for good luck. That was hand soap. Nobody got sick, it was fine. Once in a while, you got a piece of pube, so what? You deal with it. Now hand soap's so fancy, it's got its own aisle at the grocery stores. Because it's not about washing your hands anymore, it's a status symbol. We go to our friend's house and judge how well they're doing by what kind of hand soap they got. We've all done this. You go to your friend's house, he's got that green bar soap that says Zest on it. That guy's a peasant. Don't associate yourself with that kind of animal. He's gonna ask you for money, you know what I mean? And then next level up, you got like the $2 bottle of soft soap with a fish or the watermelon on it, you know? I like that family. That's the backbone of America. It's the middle-class Honda Civics of soaps. Hardworking American family, man. I appreciate that. And then next level up, you got a soap that's so fancy, it doesn't even dispense soap. It dispenses foam. Which is just soap filled with air for an extra $6 a bottle. Because as an American society, we decided we're way too good to rub our own 2 hands together to create our own foam and rather outsource that foaming action to some poor Chinese kid in Guangzhou, China to pre-foam it for us. Make America foam again, people, okay? Thank you. Thank you. My mom eventually caved in and she bought the $2 bottle of soft soap with the fish on it. But she's so Chinese, she's been watering it down for 6 years now. And now it's just a bottle of water with a fish on it. Doesn't do shit. Because it's a good deal. I know I make fun of my parents, but at the end of the day, I love them very much. I think we all do, right? But Asian people, we don't ever say I love you to each other. That's just not our thing. One time I got high and I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I just want to tell you, Mom, I love you. And you can hear her start like crying on the other side of the line. She was like, oh, Jimmy, do you have a cancer? This show is gonna have 100% tariff because I'm made in China, okay? I just want you to know. I know back in the day, everybody hated on things that were made in China. They're like, ooh, made in China, I don't want that. Now you're not gonna be able to afford shit that's made in China. That's gonna be the good shit. That's gonna be the expensive stuff. You're gonna see somebody with a jacket, it's like, oh my God, made in China? This guy must be rich. Is he a billionaire? Temu is gonna be the new Gucci. Dude, we think this tariff's gonna scare Chinese people. This tariff ain't gonna scare Chinese people. Chinese people don't need our shit. Like imagine, like you go to somebody in China, they're like, oh no, I cannot afford the pickup truck. Oh, no F-150 for me. They don't care. They're like, no, we have our own BYD. Our electric cars can jump. We don't need your shitty cyber truck that looks like a dumpster. Like it's really hard for me to watch TV with my dad because he's trying to make me explain everything to him. And first of all Asian people, they don't watch TV, they judge the TV. This is like, I'm just sitting next to my dad on the couch, and he's wearing his like old Asian man costume, which is just a wife beater and tidy whities. He's just sitting there, arms folded, judging the TV like. He just makes random noises around the house. Now whenever he sneezes, it's never just a sneeze. It's like a whole tsunami of sound waves that comes after. It's just like, oh, chill, oh, ay, shit, oh. I'm like, what the fuck, Dad just have an orgasm? What was that? And he doesn't understand what I'm saying half the time. He's like, oh, there's an orgasm. Okay, the orgasm. Orgasm. And he tried to make me explain everything to him on TV. Do you understand how difficult it is to explain a rap music video to an old Chinese man? We're just sitting there, and my dad was like, Jimmy, what I mean when he say Lamborghini Mercy, what's that? And I'm like, Dad, he's bragging about his car. It's a Lamborghini Murcielago, very expensive car. You know what that is, right? And he's like, oh, okay, yes. That's when you know they have no idea what the fuck he just said. Like, okay, yes, a Lamborghini, okay. Jimmy, what did he mean when he say, your chick, she's so thirsty, or what the? And I was like, shit. Dad, he's making fun of somebody's girlfriend, okay? Saying like she likes attention from other guys and she likes to do sex stuff with them. You know, like blowjobs and such. And he's like, oh, okay, yes. Blowjobs, okay. Jimmy, I'm thirsty too, okay? So I was like, oh, God, no. Got lost in translation. It's disgusting. Representation matters, man. A lot of Asian people coming up to me, very proud, very nice. They're like, Jimmy, thank you for representing the Asians, man. I'm like, hey, you're welcome. But you do understand it's not really a choice, right? Like when you wake up Asian, you can only represent Asians. I couldn't just wake up one day and be like, fuck it, I'm representing Nigerians today. I'm very proud to represent Asians, but at the same time, there's so much pressure. Like, nobody ever wanted to Matt Damon and be like, hey, Matt, thanks for representing the whites. Sounds weird. That's like a different conversation for some reason, you know? If somebody came up to me and be like, hey, Jimmy, I'm representing for the whites, I would leave that town immediately and never come back. So much pressure to represent. I gotta be a good Asian everywhere now. I gotta tip everywhere I go. That was one of the major advantages of being Asian, is I can just pretend I don't know how to tip. Y'all know what a Chinese tip is? Chinese tip, it doesn't matter how big your bill is, you tip $2. That's a Chinese tip, man. Now I gotta tip 20% everywhere. I gotta give every Uber driver a 5-star rating just so I can be a good representative. Everywhere I go, I gotta represent, even day-to-day shit. Even the bedroom, I gotta represent. After I hooked up with this one girl, this is what she said to me. She was like, Jimmy, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're the first Asian guy I've ever been with. I'm like, okay. What do you want, a fortune cookie? Like, what? Like, what do you want? She acted like she just unlocked a new character on Street Fighter or some shit. Why do you feel the need to say that? This one girl said this shit that was so disrespectful. This is what she said to me after we hooked up. She was like, Jimmy, I'm just glad the stereotype's not true. You don't have a small penis. And I'm like, bitch, you understand? You just insulted my entire race of people. But thank you. First of all, thank you for thinking that I did have a small penis, and we still had sex. You're the real MVP. You get 2 fortune cookies tonight, miss. Thank you. But that's a fucked up stereotype, right? That's not even true. That's a fucked up stereotype. Everybody should have average dick until proven guilty. I don't care how tall you are, what ethnicity you are, how big your hands are. Everybody should start at average dick. 8 inches. And we go from there. There's so much pressure, man. I feel like every time I have sex, there's a billion Chinese people on my back just judging me. I gotta make sure I perform and represent, you know? I gotta give an extra pump for my uncle in Shanghai, an extra pump for my nephew in Hong Kong and shit. It's like, oh my God. That's why you see old Asian people, they be walking like this, just like. It's so much pressure.